Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we will be talking about the somewhat awesome QCY HT03 ANC wireless TWS earbuds that cost less than 40 quid. Come on, this has got to be a bargain, right? Keep watching to find out. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at the QCY HT03 true wireless headset. This is something of a new thing for me. I've never heard of QCY before, but apparently they are a huge thing. I was completely unaware of it, so I've done some research, and yeah, the company's history is a very interesting one. They've grown ridiculously. At some points they have been in the top 3 of all Bluetooth headset distributors and retailers in China and possibly globally as well. It's just insane how quickly they've been growing from their humble beginnings, but now we're starting to see them come across the shores over to good old UK and Europe. So they reached out to us from the QCY EU store on amazon.co.uk and said, Mike, would you like to take a look at some of our TWS headsets? So yeah, why not? Always nice to see a new product, a new brand, and see what they have to offer for both me and obviously for you lot at home. So what do these offer? So first of all, they are Bluetooth 5.1, so excellent, low latency, low battery life, all that kind of stuff. We like that a lot. Also includes ANC, which stands for Automatic Noise Cancellation, or whatever you want to say. Basically, it's noise cancellation technology. So these have got 3 awesome modes. So there's normal, which is basically no ANC on at all, which is great because that is going to give you better battery life. Obviously with technology, you turn ANC on, it's a little bit more processing power, so your battery life will drain slightly. We'll touch on the battery length a little bit later on. The 2 other modes are transparent. Now transparent is mental, it really is. You can put them on, put them in transparent mode, and it will actually amplify everything around you. So you can hear your music, but if you want to, and you want to be a little bit of a super sleuth spy, you can actually pause your music and it will still amplify everything going around you. So everyone could be thinking that you're wearing headphones when really you're listening to every conversation in the room. How cool is that? And nobody knows any better. So yeah, definitely worth doing. And in fact, I did try it out in the garden a little bit earlier on today, listening into our neighbours, and it was a lot of fun, I must tell you. Anyway, moving on from the eavesdropping, they also have normal noise cancellation. So if you're out and about in the garden, again, like I was earlier, if your neighbour has a particularly noisy hot tub, which mine does, you can drown that out. It's excellent. And also the laughter and giggles and the sound of beer cans opening, you don't hear any of it. It's absolutely brilliant. It will reduce the outside noise, the kind of ambient noise, from somewhere between 35 to 40 dB. So that is most things. So airplanes going over, no idea whatsoever. It is fantastic. If you're sitting out in the garden in the summer, or just you're on your commute and you don't want to be bothered by the people around you or someone else with headphones which are leaking noise all over the place and driving you mad, these are going to be great. They really are. So the noise cancelling thing is, for me, is one of the key features of this. I really like noise cancelling. It does bring headphones to life. And also what brings these to life is they do have a 10mm driver in there, and they do provide actually quite a strong amount of bass. If anything, I would say if you are very much into your bass and you like bassy tracks, then these are going to be right up your street. But actually it doesn't make any difference at all, because there is an app which comes with this which runs on iOS and on Android devices, and it's a 10-band graphic equalizer which you can suit your particular needs. So if you want to listen to spoken word, then obviously you can put the mid-range right up and reduce the bass and the treble. Conversely, if you're listening to specific things where you just want a bit of bass, you can elevate the bass. Basically do whatever you want to. You can tailor the sound to your exact needs, although you don't have to do that because there are about 7 or 8 different modes actually baked into the app already. So you can just choose one, like pop, rock, that kind of stuff. You get the general idea. Anyway, that's enough of me witter on. Let's take a look and see what we actually get in the box. Now obviously I've taken these out of the box already, so I have been using them today, but I'll put them back in so you can see exactly how you're going to receive them, which is always a nice thing to do if you're maybe thinking of buying these for a gift for someone. Then they do come actually very nicely packaged. I do like the packaging a lot. It's very minimalist, doesn't really do a great deal. Easily recyclable, that part obviously being cardboard. On the top of the box, you've got some QR codes there for setting up and finding more information about them, which is always nice to have. Also in the box, you get a USB Type-C cable. So these charge, or at least the charging pod charges on USB Type-C. Realistically, you're looking somewhere between 1.5 and 2 hours for a full charge of the battery bank, which is somewhere in the region of about 400 milliamp hours. Then also you've got the buds themselves. these tiny little buds. These are super lightweight actually, and these are somewhere in the region of about 40 milliamp hours. Going to give you somewhere in the region of about 6 hours on a full charge. If you turn on the noise cancelling features, because it's going to give you a little bit of extra grunt, so that Realtek chipset built in, then you're going to be looking a little bit less, probably about an hour less, so somewhere around 5 hours playback time. But from the actual battery bank, the portable bank, you can recharge these, so you should be looking at somewhere between 24 to 30 hours of playback time in total. So yeah, I think for most people that's going to be absolutely fine. Also included in the box are some replacement ear tips. So if, for instance, the ones that are supplied, which are, I believe these are the large ones that are pre-installed, basically you get a small, medium and large. I found the large ones to be slightly too big for my ears personally, but saying that, they still stayed in, no problems at all, and complete sound isolation. Obviously, depending on your ear size, getting the right size ear tip actually is going to be helpful, although it wasn't totally necessary. Also included, there is a user guide which goes through some of the key features and things like what the touch buttons do, because these are completely touch sensitive, which is awesome. And something which is really nice that you don't always get on a lot of headphones these days and earbuds, all that kind of stuff, is the ability to actually change what the taps do. I get really frustrated by you buy a relatively inexpensive set of earbuds, but you're then trapped into their ecosystem. So if they want you to press once to do one thing or twice to do another, or tap 3 times and click your heels to do something different, you are locked into that for the eternity, basically until you replace them. With these, the application is fantastic. You can choose what 1 tap does, you can choose what 2 taps does, you can choose what 3 taps does. So you can go through and choose your individual things. So if you want 1 tap to be play and pause, not a problem, you can do that, and you can change it for each earbud. So the left earbud and the right earbud can be 2 completely different settings. So you can have 1 touch being play on one side, and you can have it to be change ANC on the other. You can make it as complicated or as simple as you wanted to, which is exactly what is the first thing I did. First thing I did, changed it so that both sides, 1 tap, play and pause, 2 taps is going to be to change the noise cancelling, and 3 taps is going to be to call up the voice assistant. That is all I need. I don't worry about anything else, volume, fast forward, rewind, all that kind of stuff. I can do that on my phone when I want to. Of course, if you don't want to do it that way, you can just set it yourself. So 2 taps can be fast forward, 3 taps can be rewind, or 2 taps on your left, 2 taps on your right. You get the general idea. It's extremely flexible, and you can basically do pretty much whatever you want with it. Talking of doing whatever you want with it, like I said, in the app, you can make all sorts of settings changes. So the automatic noise cancelling you can go in and configuring stuff. Something I did not like about the app, if I'm completely honest with you, is the fact that to use it you actually needed to create an account, choose a password, all that kind of stuff, wait for a response, put in an authentication code and all that. I get it. In this day and age, data security and kind of user identities, you do need to look after what you're doing. But for something like this set of headphones, do we kind of need to actually log in to use the app? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. So once you're all logged in, you can do all sorts. You can change, obviously, all your settings, and it will retain your settings. So if you do a factory reset on these for some reason, then when you log back in and connect them back up, it will all synchronize back up. Another nice feature, very similar to Apple's AirPods, when you first set them up, when you open the lid, you get the pop-up on the screen taking you through the entire setup process, making it extremely easy to do. The whole pairing process was very, very straightforward. I did like that a lot, although realistically there isn't a great deal that can go wrong with this. But it's nice that it's got that kind of helping hand should you need it. Also, another helping hand is when you open the app, it will tell you your battery levels on the individual AirPods. And actually something, I call them AirPods then, I shouldn't have done that, they're not AirPods, but you get the idea. They're very similar in how they work. So if you take out one on the left-hand side, for instance, and you've got the app open, it actually shows you on there that it's not charging. There's a little lightning bar next to each one of the buds themselves, so you can tell if they're actually charging. So maybe you put them away, you're not using them, and you just put them in the case, get a little red light to say they're charging, flip it down, put it in there, and then you think, oh, did I put them in right? Obviously, it's very difficult not to because they're magnetic as hell. So when you pull them out, they just slot back in, and the magnetic top as well. So it's unlikely they're not going to make a contact. But maybe, for instance, you've got a little bit of dirt or debris on the charging poles, which does happen. We've made videos on that, so I know it definitely happens. You can just quickly check the app, look in there, and make sure that they're charging, which is absolutely brilliant. Little things like that do impress me, the fact that it's actually knowing which individual pod is charging and what the battery level is. Thumbs up for that. So anyway, I'm whittling on way too much. Let's take a closer look at these. So design-wise, let's take a look at design. So design, you've got this really, really nice design in there. It's actually really difficult to get on camera. I had to take it out in the garden to get some proper sunlight on it. But it's kind of like a pearlescent, metallic, kind of. There seems to be a hint of blue in there somewhere, but generally it's kind of jet black. But it's got some nice flecks in there, silver flecks, which is really nice. There's a button on the back there, so when you open it up, you can press the button, or even when it's closed actually, you can press the button and it'll give you a battery readout of what is actually left in the tank. That is something, again, which I think they could probably work on, some kind of feedback on that. So basically, if you press the button, if the light goes green, you've got 50% or more battery. If you press it and it goes red, then you've got less than 50% battery. So yeah, this is not that accurate, but realistically it charges pretty quickly. You can, if you want to, just do a quick 10-minute charge, quick charge, and it'll give you about 2 hours of use. So yeah, I think that's going to be absolutely fine. When it comes to the actual pods themselves, those are, again, copying the same design as that. They are extremely lightweight. I was actually quite stunned how lightweight they are. And that is great. So if you're using these for maybe exercising, working out, all that kind of stuff, there's been a lot of earbuds in the past and these kind of type TWS devices which I've used, which are great if you're just walking around and just taking things casual, or maybe you're on the bus commuting, those kind of things. But quite a lot of them, as soon as you get into sports mode, these things go flying all over the place. Now they are IPX resistant, so they are going to be shower proof and all that kind of stuff. Well, shower resistant, I should say, to be completely transparent. Don't put them in water, that's not a good idea. They won't like it at all, but the odd shower, if you're out and about and you get caught in a little bit of rainstorm, they're going to be absolutely fine. But yeah, don't go swimming or showering with them on, that's generally a bad idea. The reason behind that is not the fact that they're not well made, it's just the fact that there's multiple microphones on here. So you've got 4 microphones, 2 taking information from what's around you, 2 taking information from what's actually going on in the headset itself, in order to work out the noise cancellation. Basically, it just sends out a reverse sound wave. So the sound waves that it receives from the outside, it sends out a reverse sound wave into the speakers to basically cancel out. So yeah, +6 plus -6 equals 0 kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but anyway, it works really well. The ear tips themselves, nice soft silicone tips, again, interchangeable, so you can take those off. Come off relatively easy, and they show the little speaker going on in there with a little grill on there, so nice and easy to keep clean, all that kind of stuff. The stem itself, very short stem as well, so when you do actually put them in your ear, it doesn't look particularly mental. You haven't got like real long things sticking out your ear, so that's really good. They're very comfortable as well. You can wear them for an extended amount of time. I've watched an entire movie with them in, good 2 hours at least, and after taking them out, absolutely fine. Even though these tips I think are possibly slightly too big for my ear, but I am going to try some other tips just to see. But they fit absolutely fine and they're not fatiguing in any way, shape or form. Really nice design, somewhere in the region of about 5 grams. So super, super lightweight. Again, because of that, easy to do exercising, they're not going to fly out. And even if you're one of those people that chews gum, or maybe you're just sat at your desk eating, I did find that even with chewing gum, they didn't gradually kind of try to creep out of my ear, which is often a problem with the slightly heavier ones because they have their own inertia. But yeah, overall, excellent. What we should talk about now is actual sound quality, because essentially that is what it's all about at the end of the day. And the sound quality is great. Now, clearly, they are not going to be competing with like the high-end Sonys and those kinds of things, which cost £300, etc., £200, whatever it is. For somewhere around the £40 mark, obviously you do have to temper your expectations, but don't temper them very much, because the sound quality is great. If you're into bass, that 10mm driver really does throw some punches, it really does. And because they are in earbuds and they're sealed really nicely, you do get that really nice bassy punch in your sound. Saying that, it doesn't really overpower the mids and the treble. The treble, if anything, is a little bit on the lower side and slightly flat sounding. This is talking about going from the actual flat profile. So if you have the graphic equalizer in the standard mode, just flat, the bass is definitely more emphasized than both the mid-range and the treble. So you can easily adjust it out to suit your own particular preferences. For me personally, I just put the equalizer, put all of them on full, and it was absolutely fine, keeping the volume level on my iPhone XR somewhere around about the sort of 40 to 50% mark. Absolutely fine, very loud, and because it's sealed again and the noise cancelling and stuff, it doesn't distract you. You can walk around with them, wind noise, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's absolute game changer. If you've not tried noise cancelling headphones before or noise cancelling earbuds, I would definitely suggest giving these a try. Again, if you're into your bassy tracks, you are very much going to like these in their standard profile, but it doesn't matter because you can adjust them to your particular preference in the app, which is absolutely brilliant for around about 40 quid, as I've already said. So I think I've said enough. You should really listen to the microphone. We did test the microphone earlier, so this is a sound test of me just walking around here talking into the microphone built in. So this is what it's going to sound like if you're in a telephone call. So let's listen to that now. Okay, so this is a sound test of the QCY HT03 wireless ANC headset. Currently recording this into my iPhone XR using the headphones. Just a general sound test, see what they sound like. We are in a relatively small room. This room is somewhere in the region of about 3 meters by 4 meters, so you're going to get a little bit of echo, so let's walk around a little bit. So now we're going to go into the hallway, and this is still a sound test of the QCY HT03. So there we go, there is a sound test. It's actually pretty decent, and considering how low a bit rate it actually is when recorded onto the phone, I think the entire file for a 1 minute file was somewhere in the region of about 200 kilobytes. So exceptionally well compressed, and you can hear the compression in that, but I think for just general purpose talking to people on the phone, communication's going to be absolutely fine. Clearly, if you want to use it for your main gaming headset, then probably you might want to look elsewhere. These really aren't designed for that kind of thing, although you can do if you want to, clearly. So let me know what you think about these in the comment section below. Thanks to Lewis for sending these over to us, do appreciate it, and got to be honest with you, by the actual quality of these and the pricing, I hope we see a lot more, so hopefully we will do. If you want to see more things like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the chime notification, and you'll get videos in your daily feed. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.